Oliver, okay, if you're a first-time buyer of a house, what would be the 5 things you look for? Ooh, 5 things that I would look for. First-time home buyer of a house. Let's see. There's so many things that I would consider. And actually, when it comes to any of these questions, it helps to look at the somebody's overall financial picture. Oftentimes, first-time home buyer, you're going to end up with a house that is on the lower end of the price range, right? So there's definitely some things that you're going to run into that you got to look out for and you got to be prepared for. So one, always get an inspection. Always get a home inspection, no matter which house you make an offer on. Even if it's a brand new construction, you would be surprised what a home inspection can uncover, because not everybody builds a good house. So I've heard some stories. Even on new construction that are surprising. Totally here to stay. Thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. So I'd say that's number 1. Number 2, work with a realtor. It's fairly easy these days with all the tools out there to avoid using a realtor, but what they can provide you is knowledge about the market that you're in, actual comps, not just the generic electric comps that you tend to get with a lot of the do-it-yourself services these days. They can really connect you with providers of all the services in the area. They may know specific neighborhoods, so they can help you identify neighborhoods that may actually work best for you. And also know that real estate brokers that work with the buyer, they all get paid by the seller. We'll say 99% of the time. 99% of the time, the seller is paying their real estate agent a commission, and that real estate agent splits the commission with a buyer's realtor. So don't think about cost on your end as a first-time home buyer or as a buyer in general. So how many things is that? Is that number 2? Real estate broker's number 2. Number 1, home inspector. 2, real estate broker. 3, since you're looking at things that are in the lower priced range, you're tending to find older homes. Homes older than 1978, there's a risk of lead in the paint. There's a risk of asbestos in insulation, in the ceilings, and some of the materials. Those are all things to consider. They're not necessarily a threat unless they're exposed in some way. So first-time home buyer, you've got to know if your house has that risk. You don't necessarily have to test for it as long as you mitigate the risk. And mitigate the risk would be making sure everything is painted really good, because a solid paint will keep everything from being exposed. If you have young kids and they're licking the windowsills, if there's a layer of good paint over it, they're not going to get to the lead. Okay? So always make sure that you have good coverage on paint. It's even more necessary when it comes to older homes. Same thing, popcorn ceilings. Popcorn ceilings the risk there was asbestos. So you're not going to want to knock down those popcorns because it generates dust that gets in the air, and that's what you're breathing in. So age of the home, asbestos, and lead. You've also got radon that could be a consideration. It's not a consideration everywhere, but radon is a gas. It comes up out of the ground, and it would come up in your foundation underneath your house, and it can enter your house that way. Not a very big risk, but it is a risk and something that you should be aware of. As a first-time homebuyer, you may or may not be aware of all of these risks. And so finding out too late is bad news. So I think that gives us number 3 and 4. Let's say number 5, be aware, or actually I think we'll lump all those in number 3. Number 4, we'll say maintenance. Be aware of what you need for maintenance in your home. Changing your air filters regularly on your heating and air conditioning system. You want to change the air filter regularly. They don't last forever. In fact, some of them only are designed to only last a few months. Those are the single, really thin ones. You can get some really thick ones that are designed to last 6 months to a year, but that's always going to depend on how things go in your house. But indoor air quality can be a major factor in your health. So you want to make sure that your filters are working good. Other maintenance items like maintaining your water heater properly. I'm sure there's other ones that are out there, but I can't really think of them. But that's one of the main things, is have your maintenance items. And then I'll say number five, start a capital expense account. Set aside, even if it's 10 or 15 or 20 bucks a month, start setting some money aside for major repairs. Hot water heaters don't last forever. They only last for like about 10 years or so. Your roof may only last 20, 30, 40 years, depends on what kind it is, and odds are you're not buying it with a new roof. So you'll probably encounter that sooner. There's all kinds of expenses that pop up. Make sure you're prepared. So there you go. There's your 5 things. Hopefully that gives you a sufficient answer. This was a question asked and answered during one of our Wealth Care Wednesdays live streams. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below, or join us on one of our Wealth Care Wednesday live streams where you can ask the question and we'll answer it on the air live. I hope you found value in today's video. If you'd like to find out more about IUL and whole life, check out these videos right over here, and we'll see you next time. Now go maximize your cash flow.